Good evening, I'm Andrea Anderson. The South Dakota Board of Education Standards has adopted new social studies standards for schools by a vote of 5-2. That final vote comes after years of back and forth on this issue, though what many have said has become a politicalized process. State House reporter Austin Goss was on hand for that final vote and joins us with the latest from Pierre. Austin, good evening.
That's right, Andrea. You'll recall back in 2021 that Governor Kristi Noem delayed the implementation of a different set of social studies standards, wanting to get more feedback from people. Now, nearly 2 years later, new social studies standards have been implemented, but opponents say that they weren't a part of the process. Those opponents included teachers, Native American activists, and lobbyist groups representing parts of the public education system. The two primary arguments presented by opponents over the last several months was that the standards ultimately whitewashed history and were too complicated for young, grade school-aged children.
This land is built and founded on not only the erasure but also the genocide of Native people. There may be a long road of reparations ahead of us in order to heal this deep wound, but we can start by adjusting the new curriculum standards to be fair to Native people.
But supporters of the standards continue to point to examples in the proposed standards that refute that idea. For example, students in 8th grade will be required to learn about Native American icons like Ben Rifle and Vine Deloria. In kindergarten, Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse.
One of the most common arguments is that these students aren't capable of learning, right? We've heard teachers say these standards are too difficult, right? That's too much information. And I stand against that. I think our students are capable. I have seen it myself. I have seen it with my daughter. She's in 1st grade. We have so many resources that we can use to help these students.
Ultimately, by a vote of 5-2, the board that is tasked with periodically reviewing all education standards across the state's public schools agreed to change the standards over strong rebuttals from the 2 no votes. Education Secretary Joe Graves used his time in rebuttal to vouch for the standards.
A direction that will steep this current generation of students and this next generation of Americans into the pageantry and the cavalcade and, yes, the tragedies and the errors of our history. That will inculcate within them the demands and the ultimate overriding benefits of our form of government.
Now, these standards will not officially go into effect until the 2025-2026 school year. The state hopes that will give districts and teachers alike plenty of time to implement them. Live in Pierre, Austin Goss, Dakota News Now.